Hey, greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Captive Desk. I came across one of these lists of questions atheists cannot answer. I thought, it's been a while since I answered one of these. Maybe I'll throw in my 2 cents. So I gave SJ's video a listen and went to comment on the video, only to find the comments had been turned off. Looked like the questions were answered too much, too well, or too impolite. Ah, well. So then I came across SJ's update to her 11 questions atheists can't answer. Five more questions atheists cannot answer. I thought, okay, this time I'll answer all 16 in the comments. But again, the comments were turned off. So then it got me thinking, maybe I'll do a response video since I was already geared up to answer the questions. Kind of buzzkilled with the comments turned off there, SJ. But in writing up notes and looking around at other videos, I am just not seeing why atheists are supposed to answer the answers to these lists of questions. There are so many responses to these lists of questions atheists cannot answer. You've got 5, 11, 16, 20, whatever the number, that have been thoroughly answered over and over by many. And kudos to all of you that have invested the time answering them, from both those in the fields and or those by those referencing those in the fields with a little bit of effort. The writers of these lists never spend the time putting them together as those responding to them. There is little to no researching, or their lists would be shorter, more coherent, or non existent. And one has to ask, do they really want answers to these questions? Or do they really think it's some grand super proof of their beliefs, a gotcha on the non believers, and or a one up over the experts? When they should know better. If they bothered to look up how many have posted these lists and how many have responded to them over and over again, and what the experts say in scientific papers, articles, books, classrooms, lectures, interviews, blogs, and everything else that goes ignored or cherry picked through by the list makers. And their lists are not unique or original. Even if reworded, they are answerable too, same as the rest. An atheist has only one question to answer per atheism. Do you believe a supernatural claim? An atheist is not required to know what existed or not before the Big Bang. An atheist is not required to know what caused the Big Bang. An atheist is not required to know what the parameters of the universe are or why. An atheist is not required to know what energy matter is, nor where energy matter came from. An atheist is not required to know what caused inflation of the universe, nor the continuing expansion of the universe. An atheist is not required to know where the elements came from. An atheist is not required to know what causes star formation nor planet formation. An atheist is not required to know where the water came from on this planet. An atheist is not required to know how life came to be on this planet. An atheist is not required to know how the evolution of life occurs. An atheist is not required to know how consciousness emerged. An atheist is not required to know how morals developed. An atheist is not required to know the laws of logic, the laws of physics, other scientific laws, nor scientific theories. An atheist is not required to know a theology, nor all theologies. An atheist is not required to know why so many people follow and have followed so many religions. An atheist is not required to know what the meanings to everyone's lives should be. An atheist is not required to know what happens when you die, nor what happens after you die, nor what happens in 1,000 or 1,000,000 years to your dead body. An atheist does not mean that person is a physicist or a chemist or a biologist or a psychologist or an educator or in any way an expert or educated in or on specific things or anything at all to be held to answering any lists of questions to and about atheists. An atheist is not required to answer all these questions anyone could possibly think up, but one. An atheist is only required to answer one question. Do you believe a supernatural claim? An atheist says no. An agnostic cannot say yes. A skeptic says you haven't produced adequate evidence. A scientist says present a hypothesis to be tested, or any combination of these are the only answer required to supernatural claims that have no demonstrable evidence and are dismissed as such by most atheists. A theist has many questions to answer as they make many claims. An atheist may or may not be making claims about something, but there is no responsibility to atheism on the whole, or any random non believers, or agnostics, atheists, or skeptics, or that poor person on the street with a microphone stuck in their face by a street apologist, to answer theists' lists of questions atheists cannot answer, when there is no requirement to do so. To not believe someone's claim or claims when little to no evidence that is convincing has not been presented is reasonable for anyone to do, and is not a thing only atheists are or should be required to do. Nor should it be that only atheists should be looking for answers when most experts in their fields do follow a religion or belief system, and yet it doesn't change what can be demonstrated and what cannot be. If a theist or anyone else is interested in the origins of the universe, ask a physicist. If you want to know about the life on Earth and its evolution, ask a biologist. If you want to know where consciousness came from, ask a neurologist. If you want to know where morals came from, ask a sociologist and or those in related fields, not those in unrelated fields. If you need your teeth fixed, ask a dentist, not a barber. If your car needs repaired, ask a mechanic, not a florist. If you really don't want to know or do not like the answers experts give across a consensus in their fields only because it goes against your religious or other beliefs, making up these irrelevant, silly, and or nonsensical lists of questions atheists cannot answer, rather than asking those in the know, doesn't change what the experts in their fields know, do not know, and or hypothesize about to the best of their abilities by what is known at the time and what available technology there is to find answers to certain questions. If theists want to know why an atheist, skeptic, non-believer, deconverter, or others do not share their beliefs, instead of making these silly lists that for the most part are not applicable in any way, try this. Ask them why they do not believe in whatever it is they do not believe in. But do not do it if you do not really want an answer, as you may not and probably will not like the answers. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.